Alrighty, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for clicking on today's video. Today we have a special one. We are going to be talking about co-host Amberlynn Reid. It's been a while since we talked about her, but also there has been some drama circulating. Amberlynn, her ex or not ex, current lover, former lover, whatever, Emily or Tommy, whatever name you want to use, as well as actually I don't know if you'd say reaction channel or commentary channel that does a lot of commentary on Amberlynn. There's been a lot of stuff going on. The first thing that I want to bring up is this person right here. So this is Rachel, as you can see, not the Rachel that works with me. That's a different Rachel. But this is the content creator Rachel who makes videos kind of talking about Amberlynn. And a few weeks ago, she made this video, said exposing Amberlynn Reid's lies with new receipts. And in this video, as you can see, it is 2.5 hours long. We're not going to be going over the whole thing, but she shares a lot of receipts, screenshots that apparently were shared to her by Emily, Amberlynn's current, former, whatever, lover. And there was some pretty damning stuff in there. It's a lot to go over, so that's why we're not going to be going over all of it. And honestly, this video is going to be me kind of going over this stuff, learning about what's going on, but then, just kind of trying to sum it up in a way that makes sense so you don't have to watch all of these super long videos. But again, I'm not perfect. I'm probably going to make some mistakes. So if anyone kind of has a very, super quick synopsis of everything that maybe I'm going to talk about in this video, or just stuff that is important to understand as far as the context, please feel free to leave a comment that can explain it succinctly, and I think that would help everyone. It would certainly help me try to understand and piece all this stuff together, because there has been some deleted videos. There have been some very lengthy statements that we are going to be going over. But like I was saying, this video caused a huge stir, right? So this video has 255,000 views, which is a lot of views, especially for a long video. That's insane. Like, especially in this space, like that's basically the reason I'm bringing that up so much is that was a bombshell. Bam, it dropped, boom. So many people were talking about it. A lot of people messaging me about it. Obviously, I had just gone on my trip to San Diego, so I wasn't able to really keep up with everything that was going on. But very, very recently, there has been some drama based around this video, but I think this video really kind of set a lot of the wheels into motion as to what is going on now. So the thing that I want to bring up now is Rachel made this lengthy community post talking about something that had happened recently, where Rachel apparently was working with Emily, again, Amberlynn's former current relationship person, and there was some blowback, and there has been some people redacting things and taking things back, and it's been a huge kind of poop storm, for lack of a better term. So I want to go over this statement because I think it explains the whole situation, at least from Rachel's point of view, and I just find it to be incredibly interesting. So let's go ahead and read this. So goes on to say, hey guys, I am exposing my own F up here below for transparency, which I think is good, to take responsibility for, a mistake or just something that you're not super happy with how it went down. So obviously there was a fair bit of context, which I left out of my last post. So the last post is this one right here. So she goes on to say, hi all, Emily has withdrawn consent for her voice to be used on my channel. To avoid the future issues or privacy concerns, I have privated my previous video. Many thanks for the continued support of my channel. So apparently, in between all of these videos that are being released, Rachel had been in contact with Emily, and they had given Rachel consent to post a video with, I think it's voice notes, voice memos from Emily, so you can hear Emily's voice in that video. That video has since been taken down, as Rachel said, and so that's kind of a little bit of context so you can kind of understand what's going on, right? Which I ended up not using. It was not in the Rage video. And I had consent to use them with no strings attached. Prior to this, Emily had told me some pretty damning information about Amber, owing her lots of money for the trip they took where Emily drove Amber home. So I'm assuming that's one of the times that they got, Amberlynn was staying at Emily's house, and then they decided they were going to go back to Amberlynn's house. And because I don't think Amberlynn likes to fly or can fly, they always have to drive back. That's obviously a very lengthy thing. So, money's going to be, you're going to have to pay for money and pay for the things that you need to do to make that happen. So she goes on to say, I wanted receipts for this pretty bad, but I didn't think it was something Emily would be super keen on sharing. So I very stupidly, and this is important, I very stupidly offered Emily that if she was willing to give me these receipts, I would split the AdSense on that separate finance related video with her. So basically she's stating here that she is basically saying, I will pay you for those receipts. I will pay you for that information, and you will get a portion of the AdSense. If you don't know what AdSense is, it's basically, when you watch YouTube, I'm sure most of you know this, but if you don't know, when you watch a YouTube video, if you don't have YouTube Premium, there are ads that play on that. YouTube gets a portion of that, but then also the creator gets a portion of that. And, it can be anywhere from, not really much money at all to thousands of dollars per video to, some of the biggest creators on the platform are making tens, 20s of thousands of dollars per video just from AdSense. Okay. And so obviously with Rachel, the size that she is, it just depends, but I can almost guarantee that this video here, maybe not anymore, because it does seem that this video ended up getting age restricted, because it says right here, age restricted. But when you release a video that does super well and it's incredibly long, you can make a lot of money on AdSense, okay? You can make a lot of money on AdSense, so that could be a lot of money. But obviously, I don't know. I don't know exactly how much that money would have been. But I think that this is a perfect example of trying. I think with these situations, when we're talking about, especially with Amberlynn and Emily, they are both people that seem to be incredibly self-centered, They think about themselves and they try to move themselves forward in any way that they can, regardless of who that hurts. If that hurts the person that they claim to love, right? Amberlynn has done things that end up hurting Emily. Emily has done things that end up hurting Amberlynn. But a lot of it ends up being, how can I basically make myself look good, regardless of what's going on? And they both have done it, which we will go over. I think it's very funny. So I think that offering money to either one of them for them even appearing on your channel, or them, sharing receipts with you, I think is, in my opinion, and again, this is not me trying to, this is not me like trying to talk crap about someone else that reacts to Amberlynn stuff or reacts to Girl World. I'm not trying to start drama, but I think that is a very clear line that you shouldn't step over, because it ends up putting you in the middle of the kind of drama stuff. And maybe that's something that some people might want. For me, I try to kind of, stay on the outskirts and just talk about what's going on and not try and get too involved. That's for my own mental health stuff. It's just not worth it for me to get involved that much. I think for me, I'm more than happy just kind of being on the outside and talking about the things that are going on. And so I think that, and it seems that Rachel kind of also agrees that maybe that wasn't the best move, because it seems that she was kind of taken advantage of with Emily. And again, it's been so interesting because Emily's gone from this super evil villain to then people tried to rehabilitate her and oh, she was being used by Amberlynn. And then it seems like there's always this flip flop. And I think that both of them kind of are not great. But let's continue reading this statement. So separate finance related video with her. Later, once the voice note video was well underway, Emily asked me if we could just split the AdSense from the voice note video instead of the finance video one, as she felt it made no difference. I assume that is because the voice note video came out first, right? And then the finance one was going to come out later. So it seems that maybe she was just hey, let's split the revenue on the first video that's coming out instead of waiting, right? And it seems that Rachel has an idea as to why that is. I again stupidly said yes, thinking, well, we were going to split the finance video anyway, so it really makes no difference if we just split this one instead. It is essential to note that Emily had already given me consent to use the voice note prior to this rearrangement. I mean, I believe that. I don't know. I obviously don't know Rachel personally, but I don't think that they would take it maliciously, but I don't know for sure. She also never sent the finance receipts. She had mentioned she did not let me use the voice note because of any money. She had already said yes to this, and the agreement was transferred. I then became very suspicious that Emily and Amberlynn were talking again. Amber deleted her lives, posted that statement, and it was clear that Emily and Amber were not done with each other. So I think Rachel was kind of operating under the idea that Emily and Amber were finally for sure done with each other. They were splitting up. And it seems that wasn't the case, because the statement that I'm pretty sure that she is mentioning is this one, which is from 7 days ago now. Okay. And it's Amberlynn what's a lot of people seems backtracking a lot of the statements she made about Emily, because a lot of the statements she made about Emily were, this person was physically hurting her and doing things that were causing her physical pain, and as well as mental pain, and just really terrible accusations that were being thrown from Amberlynn to Emily. And then Amberlynn makes this statement, and a lot of people started feeling like she was backtracking, right? So this statement that Amberlynn put: I need to address something that has become a topic of conversation online. As you might have seen, there has been a lot of discourse between myself and Emily in which feelings were hurt and emotions controlled. I want to clarify an important point that I think may have been lost among the chaos. Emily, to my knowledge or belief, has never intentionally caused someone's health to decline, nor has she ever intentionally caused someone to DIE. I can spell, I know. I did not believe that she would ever want to cause somebody's health to decline or to DIE. She has always shown care regarding my health, and been a very caring person in that way. Any statement of the opposite effect does not align with what I believe about Emily at all. So again, the thing is that this Amberlynn was making a lot of these statements. So it's not like there's these statements that are happening outside of Amberlynn and they're just happening to be in the area of Amberlynn. Like, these are statements that she has been making. Right? So a lot of people were like, what are you talking about? This is so the opposite of what you had been saying, right? She has never deserved the kind of hate or accusations that have been happening to her the last year and a half. Lastly, I want to remind my audience and the Reaction Channel audience that while the drama is entertaining to you, these are real people with real lives behind it. That is true. Please do not make this worse for anyone involved. To do so is harmful, not helpful. These past few days have been extremely painful for both of us, and I need everyone to know that I will be continuing to take some time to pause, reflect, and focus on moving forward in a healthier way. Thank you for everyone who's shown kindness and understanding. There's time, right? And, the top comments, right? Girl, but you said it. The backtrack is insane, right? They're back together. Emily's suing her. They're so toxic. I wouldn't be surprised if it's both. Yeah. So I think that statement is probably what Rachel saw. And then she was like, something's fishy here. Like, I feel like I'm being taken for a ride, right? Like, I am basically Emily saying, I will give you this information, but you have to basically pay me, is pretty much what ends up happening there if everything goes through, right? But then she's seeing the statement from Amberlynn, which it makes it seem that they're actually together, and all of this almost feeling like it's being orchestrated to make you look silly, right? So that's the statement. I just wanted to read that. So then it goes on. I thought, despite her crappy character, that receipts coming from Emily were still valuable, and showing these did not mean I was defending her. So I agree with, I can understand feeling that way, but like, especially with the internet and especially with videos like this, I've noticed that if you defend someone in any way, or even say like, hey, this person isn't all evil, people are like, oh my God, you love them. You love Emily now. And I think that aligning yourself, regardless of if you feel that that's not what you did, but like paying someone for information to an extent, kind of like, it makes you not impartial as much as it would if you just did not, like, money wasn't changed. Again, I feel like from this statement that I've read, it doesn't seem like, I think Rachel seems to kind of understand that and is like, that was not a smart idea. Like, I don't think that that's something I would want to do again. But that's the thing that's tough with stuff like this, especially if you're, Rachel probably, let's be real, she probably does a much better, research with her videos than I do. She probably really gets into it a lot better than I do. She's probably, honestly, a better YouTube creator than I am. Okay, I just want to make that clear. I am not interested in the hard-hitting journalism like that, like trying to talk to people. It's just too much for me. I try and stay on the outside. So if you're like, hey, I'm a Rachel stan and what she does, I understand. It seems like she is someone that gets in there and really tries to get the information. That is not something that I want to do. So again, I want to make this clear. I'm not trying to say that Rachel is a bad person or did anything evil or anything like that. I just think that maybe this was stepping over a line, at least a line that I wouldn't step on. But again, maybe I'm just a big weenie, who knows? Okay. However, it became clear to me that my good intentions were being taken for granted, which I definitely understand that. Emily did not want to provide receipts, but in fact, she viewed my videos as payback to Amber for their own personal dramas, which is something that seems to happen. They will almost talk crap about each other online because they're themselves are fighting offline, right? Which is very weird. I was not comfortable being used as a pawn in their wider game. I therefore decided there was no way on this earth that I was going to pay this person to make me look like a mug. Good call. I told her as much, told her I would happily donate the portion to charity instead, so that I would not benefit from the decision. She got very angry, suddenly blamed my video for her being harassed despite having been okay with it prior. I think she was mad she wasn't getting paid. Yeah. She did not want the money to go to charity. She wanted to be paid. She tried to make it sound like she had not given me consent. I mean, that'd be frustrating to use the voice note already. She had, and I can prove it. And she gave me the ultimatum to pay her or take my video down. I wasn't paying her, so I took the video down. It is now back up, right? I acknowledge that it was an absolute effing idiot. I was an absolute idiot for offering her money under any circumstances. I mean, I wouldn't call you that, but I just think it wasn't the smartest idea. And that was also wrong to do so and then change my mind afterwards. At the same time, I can understand being frustrated if someone says that they are going to pay you and then, decide that, no, I don't want to do that anymore because I realized that I shouldn't have done that, right? You make a deal. It's tough. It's a tough situation to be in, and that's why I would just not put myself in that position, right? At the same time, there was absolutely no way, allow a single penny of the AdSense money from your viewership to go to Emily, and it was clear that she was enjoying these weird mind games between herself and Amber and viewed videos made by me as punishment to Amber. This was icky to me. I wanted receipts. That was all. I was mad about Amber still owing Beck, so Beck is a previous partner of Amberlynn's, the inheritance money, and I wanted everyone to know that Amber had financially screwed over another ex, and therefore I made an offer I shouldn't have made. So she was basically trying to prove that Amberlynn has done this often, right? Taken advantage of partners, not paid them or taken money from them. That seems to be the mindset that she had going into it. It was a mistake, too late. I understand if people are mad at me for this. The portion offers to Emily will instead go to charity on or around November 26th. I will post a donation receipt there. I assume that's because she probably gets paid with AdSense around that time. You get paid once a month if you didn't know. Emily's response to this situation proved that my intuition was right. Her wearing some serious... My intuition was right. Her intention, was never to get her story out as a DV victim, and it was, and I was wearing some serious rose-colored glasses in pursuit for the receipts. Sorry for being a twat. I did get some interesting receipts though. Please see the Venmo below, where Amberlynn was blocked on all platforms. So sent Emily $1 because she wanted to answer the phone at 1 a.m. So, and then there's a receipt right here. And it's interesting because if you look at the comments on this post, most people are saying that instead of sending the money to charity, that she should send the money to Beck, which I think could be good because Beck is going through some health stuff right now, and I'm sure the money could be helpful for them. So that might be a good decision to do. But I just wanted to, that's kind of everything that I understand up to this point. Again, I'm sure a lot of you guys probably know more than I do. So if you want to, update me, I would appreciate it. But I just thought that seeing everything that was going on, this was so interesting because I was at TwitchCon and actually ran into one of you guys, and you came up to me and you were asking me if I had seen the Rachel videos, and I was like, I actually haven't seen them yet, and you guys were like really encouraging me to watch them. This was before all of this stuff had happened, and so I'm glad that I looked into it because I do think that it's a very interesting situation. Again, I want to make it clear, it's not like I'm trying to make this video because I'm like, Rachel, I can't believe you did that. It's such a bad... That's not what it's about. I think it's more just like a cautionary tale. This stuff is interesting, and it's very easy to kind of get sucked in and become part of the chaos. And I try to do my best to stay on the outskirts, see what's going on, but not get sucked into the tornado, the whirling dervish, the hurricane that's going on. I just kind of like, wow, that's crazy. Look at all that stuff over there, right? That's kind of the things that I like to do. But, I'm sure there are a lot of people that really like the hard hitting, getting in the middle of it, getting into, the weeds and really just attacking it head on. Rachel's doing that for the people that want to watch that stuff. That's just not my thing. But I thought it was very interesting, stuff that's going on. I am curious what y'all think down in the comment section down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Peace.